lead us in the pledge.
Please stand and join me. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight, God, and ask you to humble our hearts and be the leaders that you want us to be, God, that we would make decisions not only for your kingdom, God, but for the betterment of our county. We ask that you watch over each and every one of us and our family and just bless our community. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting to order. Let the record show that we have a quorum with Commissioner Hardy and Commissioner Mims being absent. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion we approve the agenda.
Second.
Got a motion, Commissioner Bone, second, Mr. Williams. Any discussion?
We needed,
I've got 5 additions and deletions.
Okay.
We want to remove Peach Jam 2024 from the consent agenda and the renewal of the trade school from the consent agenda and add that to Joseph Parnell. And for the engineer, add the approval of job description for assistant county engineer and add letter to item for wastewater treatment plant permit requirements.
Okay.
Were there any others? Did I miss something? Okay.
Any other additions or deletions? So we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a motion, Commissioner Bone, second, Commissioner Williams. Let me go back and make sure I said this. This is the commission meeting of February 13, 2024. So the consent agenda consists of the minutes of January 23rd, 24, claims list February 13th of 2024, the sheriff surplusing some items, the revenue commissioner some pay raises, new hire, commission with trade school renewal tax. No, we pulled that off. I'm sorry. That's right. The trade school and the Peach Jam was pulled to the regular. Pay raise for an employee in the maps and the road. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
The engineer was added at the end of the consent agenda.
Okay, engineer.
Thank you, Commission. I would like to request approval of the job description for the Assistant County Engineer Land Development position, pending approval of the County Attorney and Human Resources Director.
That to include posting it once it's approved?
no,
You gotta come back and post it. I mean, approve it.
I think once it's approved, it can be posted. But I can, yeah, we can also do that, and to post it once it's approved.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion, Commissioner Parnell, second, Commissioner Bone. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Thank you.
So passed.
I would also like to request approval to submit a letter to ADEM inquiring about the requirements of the Verbena WWTP permit.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Not only inquiring, but authorizing you to handle it if possible. To
Yes, sir.
handle the requirements if possible.
Yes, sir, just to handle
Can
the
we
requirements if
amend that,
possible.
Commissioner Williams?
Yes.
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 Okay, we got a motion, Commissioner Bone, second, Commissioner Williams. Did I get that right, or was
Yes.
the motion made by
Yeah.
Commissioner?
You got it.
Okay. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. So carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Staff reports. No old business. Commissioner reports, Commissioner Bone,
No, sir.
Commissioner Hardy, Commissioner Headley, Commissioner Mills, Commissioner Parnell.
Yes, sir, I have 2 things. One is, as you know, back in 2022, the commission began the process of renewing an existing tax that funds the trade school and industrial development in our county. So we passed a resolution. We asked Representative Van Smith to go to the state legislature and to get approval from the state legislature for us to move forward with it. He did the things that we asked of him, and now we are at the next phase of that. We have engaged Ben to make sure that this is being handled correctly. So Ben has looked into the requirements and has learned that through an Attorney General's opinion, that the date of the special election for this, to renewal of this tax, has to be set by the governor. So Ben has prepared a resolution tonight, and I'm not gonna read the entire resolution in, but the resolution is asking the governor to set the date of our special election for the renewal of the trade school and industrial development tax in conjunction with the November, general election, I think, which is November the 5th, if I remember that correctly. It's at the governor's discretion whether she does it or not, or when she does it. But this resolution is officially asking her to approve that, and the resolution just makes note that this tax has been in place now in Chilton County in some shape or form now for 60 years. It was originally put in as a 2 mil tax in 1964, and then it was raised to a 3 mil tax in 1979. And what we're asking is to continue at 3 mil, which is basically 30 cents on every $100 of assessed value of the property. And it is a 50-50 tax. Half of that money goes to the trade school, and half goes to our rural and industrial development fund. For us, it's used for things like industrial development, when and if we have some. That's the money or revenue stream that we would fund those things with. Historically, it has funded some IDA ventures. It funds a portion of the road department's budget. It funds a portion of the sheriff's department's budget. It funds a portion of our parks and recreation budget, among many other things. And it makes up for the county about $1.3 to $1.4 million a year of the money that we have to work with through rural and economic development. So I'm going to ask the commission tonight to approve the resolution as presented by Ben, and it would be to renew that until 2044, which would be another long time before it'll have to be handled again. But the Board of Education and the trade school is very dependent on this money. So I offer it as a resolution and ask for a second.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion for Commissioner Parnell, second Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? Any questions, guys? All in favor of this? Say aye. Aye. So carried.
In conjunction with that comment, would you be willing to take the signed resolution or email it to Representative Van Smith and ask him to try to walk it through the governor's office and finish it where we can get it on the ballots before November?
We'll do our best to do that tomorrow. We'll probably send him an email because they may still be in session.
That would be great if you would do that. All right, and then the second thing we have, and it was on the conversation tonight in the work session, but the support of Peach Jam Jubilee. And historically, the commission has bought an ad to help support them. Last year, we gave them a fairly sizable donation in lieu of the ad, I think is the way that went. But there's a discussion tonight in work session about at what level to do that as. And they have ranges that run from $300 to $4,500. But prior to last year, we did what's called a harvester support, which was a $500 ad. And I would ask that the commission consider doing another $500, and I'll make that in a $500 ad, and I'll make that in the form of a resolution.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion for Commissioner Parnell, second Commissioner Bone about the Peach Jam ad. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
And that's all, sir.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Williams?
Yes, had several calls over the last few weeks about litter along Alabama's highway. Not county road, but 145 and Highway 31 specifically inside the county line. And I called Libby about it, and in talking, I remembered that she was pretty much instructed, I don't think it was any official, by a member of this commission, not to pick up anything on state highways. Well, the law allows her to pick up litter on state highways inside the boundaries of our county. And I think we need to give her some direction, because it is a terrible eyesore. If any of y'all been up toward Calera in the last couple of weeks and seen what's on along the side of the road, that's a shame.
Commissioner Williams, have you contacted the State Department at Maplesville?
They've been contacted by several different people over the years, and when they come, at their discretion, they come.
I know, there was some community complaints in the Maplesville area a couple of months ago, and they got right on it and cleaned up 22, and it was in a mess.
Well, I don't know if they've cleaned up 31. Have any of y'all been up? I haven't been there in the last few weeks, up 31 to Calera. Have you been up that
Well,
way?
you've been from Cooper's to 205, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Williams, I agree with you that she needs some definition in what's required of her, but I would ask that you get the director out of our division's number from Heath, I know Heath probably has it, and call him personally and ask him if he would send a litter crew,
I'll be glad to do
and
that.
then let's proceed from there.
But in the event that he doesn't come, and we've got what'd I say, a ton of garbage, can we give her some allowance that she can handle that if the state doesn't come? And I don't have a problem calling over there and reporting him every time I get a phone call about 31. Matter of fact, I'll call him tomorrow about 205 to Coopers, because it is terrible.
Yeah.
I would,
Understanding, I think they kinda starting to slack up on what they're doing as well.
Oh, they're definitely slacking up. They're just
he's
doing
a
what-
good guy, and he will help you any way he can. And I would ask him before we take Libby's time, which doesn't cover our 1,100 miles of
Oh, I
road,
know it does.
to pick up state highways. And I know it all needs to be done, but I would try to exhaust my opportunity to use his resources before we use ours.
Well, he could answer this. I know that we can't put signs on the state highway, but we were told that our insurance is not good being out on the state highway, like our flashers and us being out there. He could probably answer a lot more of that. I know when they even put up signs, Matt and him called and get the state people to come and do that because they didn't want us on the state right away.
Commissioner Williams, may I make a,
Just answering that, by talking to them, today I was talking to Matt, and that's one of the things, is our insurance covers us to be on county right of ways,
But it doesn't
That's
cover
the
you on the
state.
state.
right of way, right.
Commissioner Williams, can I make a comment on your litter deal while we're talking about litter?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, all of us that's running for re-election, all the new ones that's running, we put our campaign signs up on these county roads, and the bush hog crew comes through and they cut them all to pieces. Miss Libby's gotta pick up trash. So please, let's be careful where we put our signs.
I'll go back and get mine after.
You gonna pick your trash up after they cut all the pieces?
No, I ain't gonna bush hog before March the 5th.
I don't know, we got some guys eager to get on bush hog.
I've seen some bigger signs that,
Yeah,
it's a little too close to the road. I mean, a little bitty yard sign sticking it down there.
Yep.
Close to the road, I ain't got a problem with it when you start putting 4x4s.
let's just be careful where we put our
There's
signs.
one, and I'm not gonna name any names, but there's one over on the west side of the county that's got your entire, it's a huge sign, and you can't see to get out in the road where it comes out. It's awful.
If it's blocking where you can't see in the road, Heath really needs to.
If it's a
Our-
safety hazard, he's come down.
Yeah.
Our state handbook,
Don't mind taking it down, I promise you.
Oh, I can tell you they don't.
our state handbook says, and I called the state about this when I first ran, cause I was new. It is not against the law to put them on road right-of-ways, but if there's any complaints, they can take them up. And they will.
When you gather them up around the stop signs, you're taking the people's eyes off of the stop sign to what you're electing.
Okay,
Well, what, and Heath wasn't here, so I'll say this for Heath's benefit. What Tony has always done was when they were in the way and he needed to take them up for safety reasons, he would leave them stacked up by the back door of the courthouse where people could come get their signs rather than throwing them away. They're very expensive. I'm not running, so you won't get my sign.
okay, go ahead, Commissioner
If you'll
Williams.
get me that phone number, I'll make that call tomorrow. And I've had different people, and y'all may have heard them, seen them on Facebook, whatever. The attachments for our meetings, they're not on our website with our minutes. And they're with our minutes in the book. I mean, I asked Tiffany, and she's nobody's ever told her to put them on the website. And I'd like to put them on the website.
Well, I think, in the past, it, really ain't nobody's business what, some employee makes or what they don't. It's got a lot of them attachments have got a lot of personal information in it. It's the reason we don't do that, I think.
It would cause an uproar in a department if somebody found out that their coworker was making $2 an hour more than them. And this is a way to not do that.
Okay, you've answered the question. And,
Look, that information is publicly available.
oh, I know it is.
And they can come here and request it if they wanna know it. But printing it for the world to tell people what you're making, that gets into people's personal business.
I see your
Okay.
point there.
And we were discussing, our Commissioner Kelly's already talked about subdivision rules, and Heath and I have talked about this. I think the word is ad nauseum for the last 3 months of changing these. And, you've got a committee, who's on that committee?
Don't do that.
I'll get with you after the meeting, but I can't make that publicly right now.
Okay,
He's
'Cause
not
it's not
forming
official.
he's got a group of friends that's gonna advise him on some strategy, and then he's gonna come back to us. He's not
okay,
appointing a public committee. He's just
Okay.
got some people that's gonna read the rules, that understand subdivision rules, and then tell him what to come back to us with.
okay, cause some of these rules are, and just like the example you gave, that was, that's not the particular one I was gonna bring up tonight, but that is a problem I have with somebody wanting to give their grandson, their nephew, a couple acres of their land to put a house on. That's just, I don't believe that was the intent when this was, these were written, and I think it needs to be fixed.
Commissioner Williams, on the other side of this, we've got some holes in these rules that are allowing things to happen that we don't want to happen in our county. And that was the original reason that they were amended back in, I don't remember when, 2010, 2012, 2013, whenever it was. But one thing that has come to mind or had been brought up to me is that our requirement for asphalt. We're requiring 3 inches of asphalt, where when we're paving our own county roads, we're only putting 1 inch of asphalt. So if they got a proper base and 1 inch, that lowers a developer's cost and makes housing in Chilton County more affordable. And we need to look at not only how we're gonna restrict to get the kind of growth we want, but how to promote growth by not over-regulating. So these rules need to be looked at after we've seen them in action for a number of years and refined in a way that better suits what the leadership of our county wants.
Well, I'm in hopes that your friends can get this done pretty quick, because last Sunday, a week ago, I rode the northwest portion of the county, and in about a mile stretch, there's 4 illegal subdivisions, 4 of them, and he's
Commissioner-
already been told about them, and they're not just illegal subdivisions. I know for a fact that one of them has legalized citizens living in those, living in there,
Well-
undocumented, think, that's what I was looking
We
for.
want this to be done quick too, but when you got, about that many pages to go over
It's more than
and
that.
amend, it's gonna take a while. And they do realize the time of this, that we want it as quick as possible, but it ain't gonna be done by next meeting, I can tell you that.
And the other thing we've done, just like you're talking about with Libby, we have an engineer. Engineers' minds are black and white, there's no gray, and we've given him a set of rules to follow. And then we're telling him, hey, be careful how you follow those rules.
Yep.
He wants you to define what you're requiring of him, where he knows what to do, where he can do his job.
Oh,
Right.
he and I've had that discussion. I've never told him anything between the black and white. That's why I said, I don't like the way these rules are written from day one. We needed to change them. So I'm glad it's in the motion now to
Well,
get this changed.
I'm encouraging all the commissioners, if you don't have a copy of these, get you a copy and, read them, go over them. Like I say, if you got any input, write it down, get it to me,
And at
so I
some
can get it
point,
to these people and,
at some point after your friends have given you their opinions, then we'll have a work session and
right,
present what y'all come up with, and
mhm,
the commission can adopt or reject
that's right, that's what we're
the
gonna do,
recommendations.
okay?
Evaluations. Are all department heads, are they sending in, like Tim did tonight, he told us up front that all evaluations for these, he was asking a raise as far. Have they all been doing their evaluations, prior to raises?
As far as I know, the ones I've asked questions, and I've asked about all of them, they telling me yes.
They have to have that before Terry gives them will give them a raise, don't they? Have to send them evaluations to the commission
They
office?
should be sending evaluations to the, HR director.
Yeah. I would say.
I think it needs to be a rule.
We've got a resolution on the books that no raises are granted. The reason I brought it back, we passed that, and then we passed some raises without asking. That's why I was asking tonight, because that's the question we need to ask each time we approve raises, if the evaluations have been done. Because I know for a fact, the lady sitting right there, she tells us each time the job she's done and evaluating them. And I think that's, if they come to us to approve them, we need to follow the rule we set in place.
We'll do a follow-up with all these department heads and get some information on that, Commissioner.
Okay?
I agree with you.
And the last thing is the same thing I've talked about for the last 2 or 3 meetings, is allowing the, public to watch our work sessions. And the work sessions would cut out a lot of need for some conversation during our meetings, actually, if we would live stream these meetings. So I'm asking for a second to a motion to live stream our work sessions.
No second.
And I've got a question for Ben, I forgot about this. Our motion about the litigation last time, Ben, weren't we supposed to come back and vote on that, or has it been completed?
The motion about the litigation.
Yeah. The mediation,
No,
Oh,
that's
that
been,
was the
that's been,
resolution.
that's been settled.
I'm sorry.
It was in,
Yeah, it was not a full litigation yet, that's why, but it's been, we had that approved at the last meeting.
Yeah, we did.
okay, I thought the motion then was to allow you to go on and complete the,
Everything on that has been completed. No further actions.
okay. I was asking, is that public record?
The resolution is,
I'm talking about the results, so,
no, sir.
okay. All right. I move we adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?